Hey, what's up everyone, Maury Croston here, and today we're going to be talking about the timing of the wrist. The wrist flick to me ends up being such a big separator because we see guys that are shorter that are able to put a lot of force behind the football because of how they are with the wrist. We see bigger guys that are not able to put as much behind the ball because of what they're doing with the wrist. And, you know, I think that ends up being a huge determining factor. I know I've talked about this a lot, and I've made a lot of videos about this, but that's because of how important it is. What happens is we go through the load. The next thing that we want to do, and we see this with all the best guys, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Tom Brady, is there's this action where they're rotating to get that to this position, to get their wrist in that dominant position on the football. We don't want to be, this would be a non-dominant position. This would be a position that is ineffective. This is going to be a position that is going to negatively impact your release on the football. What we got to be able to do is get to this position where our wrist is on top of the football. So the first thing that happens is we rotate the football. And I go more, you know, like this type of a thing with the football. Tom Brady goes more here and gets a lot of this, where that nose of the football ends up going right over the top. And I almost feel like that ends up being more effective. Like, I think I would have more on the football if I was able to get that nose of the football to go upwards more and then be able to still get on top. I think that's, like, at the end of the day, I think that's the most important, or a thing that ends up helping you, is being able to get a lot of external rotation, which means that nose of the football becomes upwards, and then still be able to get on top of the football. So have, you know, the size of the hands and the timing and all that to be able to still get your wrist on top of the football, where then we're going, it's a downward action first as we're coming through and rotating with that hand, right? So it wants to be here, and then it's that initially, you know, brings the ball forward and then coming down. Because I see a lot of guys that end up here, right? And so that's why I say you need to get that action. It's a lateral deviation action of, you know, that pinky. Okay, so I'm talking to you guys about, like, that action, that pinky bend. That's what I mean. We need to get that. We need to be able to get on top of it. We don't want to get too much where, you know, you end up obviously throwing the ball down. But honestly, a lot of you guys could benefit from getting that actual thing to happen, is the nose of the football to kind of go down a little bit. That tells you that you're on the right track. Because I see so many guys that end up here and the ball just sails on them, right? And it has to do with what they're doing with the wrist. Rotate, then come down. I haven't always made that really clear, so that's why I'm making this video, to make it so it's really clear for people that are in the program as well, to be able to see how to get here and then come down, right? If you're just watching this for free, then like the video, subscribe, because this ends up being really important, right? We can go more in depth into how to get yourself into the right position with the wrist when you're part of the program, when you can send in breakdowns, right? We can go over more, you know, individual zooms, things like that, but that is the biggest thing.